Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom.
People in every part of the globe are perishing because their judgment is low. From children to teens to elderly folks, this epidemic is incredibly bold. Wisdom is needed to see through the fog. Without it, we'll stumble and see to the long. You're jumping without something to break and fall if you choose to ignore wisdom's beckoning call. The only people who will lose the war are those who don't know who they're fighting for. You are the only one who can decide your fate. Don't waste your life when you can live inside a race. If we turn to God and behold his shining face, we will gain traction to run in this human race.
Hey, what's going on? JC Johnson here for the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. And today we are discussing the wisdom of anthropomorphism. More on that after this.
Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom.
What's going on? JC Johnson here for the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. And on today's show, we are discussing the wisdom of anthropomorphism. And if you're just tuning in and you want to know what that is, or if you have been listening, but you feel a little bit, at odds with the topic, just as a quick recap, what we're talking about is anthropomorphism, or the two words where this comes from: anthropos, meaning human; morphe, which means form. Anthropos, morphe, anthropomorphism, the interpretation of non-human things or events in terms of human characteristics. So whether we are looking at an animal or we're looking at some other kind of object that is non-human, there is some benefit to ascribing human characteristics to these non-human things. Before the break, we had mentioned how a person may, in having compassion for an animal, right, by dressing it up for the cold, putting on a hat, scarf, gloves, things like that, actually is a good thing, because it helps people to become more conscious of the needs of not just animals, but anyone, period. A person who treats their animal well is more likely, I would think, to become a good parent. A person who is committed to maybe even taking care of their vehicle or something else that's in their possession, and taking pride in that, and seeing it as something that is a reflection of them, I think that translates and transfers over into several different areas of life. So I think that's pretty good. We looked at a couple articles. One was from a therapist, or this writer who specifically had spoke with some therapists who say that watching cartoons can actually help with depression. It can help with anxiety, right? Any kinds of mental health issues that a person may have, watching cartoons may make them feel better. And the reason why is because they're seeing these non-human beings who are going through cartoon animal problems, which may not seem as big as our problems, but seeing them go through it and seeing them deal with their emotions, seeing them being able to express themselves and to overcome whatever they're going through, it can be inspirational, and it can make you laugh in a time of great difficulty. When you're going through something and you just don't feel good, you just feel like I don't know how I'm gonna make it, or I don't feel good about this. it can actually be a positive thing to sit down, watch a cartoon, kind of take a load off, not worry so much. And most cartoons, I would say, are usually pretty positive. They have some sort of message, because they realize that children are mostly watching this, and they want it to be something that they can learn from, something that's going to help build character. Because, children are learning all the time and they don't even realize it. And things that they watch, things that they listen to, it all plays a part. So as much as it does benefit children, though, it's not only children that benefit from these things. Adults benefit from them as well. And that's why, there's many adults, if they're honest, who will admit that they still enjoy watching cartoons. Or they still may view inanimate objects in the same way that a child may, when they're using their imagination. They're pretending. They're pretending that their dolls are real. And what do? What do children do? I see my daughter doing this all the time. She plays with her Barbies, and she has this whole storyline of what they're doing. It's like, the one Barbie doll is talking to the other one, and sometimes the conversations get pretty deep. Just talking about where they're gonna go, what they're gonna eat for dinner, who's getting married to who, whatever it is, right? And it's in that children learn. A lot of times they're acting out maybe what they've seen or heard, maybe from parents or their friends at school or their teachers, but they're trying to make sense of life. And one way that they do that is by playing. And you can see just them being creative, them pretending that these non-human things, these dolls, pretending that they are human beings, that they have the same emotions that we do, the same fears, the same happiness, the same successes, the same failures. Doing this can be a positive thing. One of the examples from one of the articles talked about how even seeing money, even ascribing human characteristics to money, can help one to secure their financial future, because it becomes more real to them. And that goes for bad things too, right? If you can envision something bad, like let's say some hardcore drug like crystal meth or crack cocaine. If you can imagine that to have human characteristics, imagine what crack cocaine would look like if it was in human form. If it had a face and arms and legs and hands and feet and bad breath and a pot belly or whatever it might have, right? Imagine if crack cocaine was a person and not just a thing. If people saw it like that, and they saw how devastating it can truly be if they were to imagine it in human form, I bet more people would stay away from it. But there are plenty of benefits to ascribing human characteristics to inanimate objects, and that's what we're talking about today. Again, this is not to say get weird with it. I'm not saying, take this to any extremes or do anything that's weird. But I'm just saying that there is some benefit in seeing something that's non-human, but maybe treating it in the same way that you would treat something or treat someone who is human. It can have some benefits in your life. So that's what we're talking about today. We're gonna conclude the conversation on that. When we get back, we're gonna take a look at what the Bible has to say about this topic of anthropomorphism, more specifically our relations to inanimate objects, whether they be plants or animals or whatever, and what we can learn from them. Because I do believe that all of these things are around for a reason. God wants us to learn from every aspect of his creation, because when we least expect it, something that we may see on a daily basis may be brought to our mind, and having a greater understanding of that thing in that moment may be life-changing. All right, but more on that after this. For the love of wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets, we are back. I'm your host, JC Johnson, and right now we're taking a look at the topic anthropomorphism, which is ascribing human characteristics to non-human things. And what I'd like to do right now is take a look at what the Bible has to say about this. What can we learn from God's creation? Things that are not human, but that we can relate to. Matthew chapter 6, verses 26 through 30. It says, and this is Jesus speaking here to his disciples. And he said, "Look at the birds. They don't plant, harvest, or save food in barns, but your heavenly Father feeds them. Don't you know you are worth much more than they are? You cannot add any time to your life by worrying about it. And why do you worry about clothes? Look at the wildflowers in the field. See how they grow. They don't work or make clothes for themselves. But I tell you that even Solomon, the great and rich king, was not dressed as beautifully as one of these flowers. If God makes what grows in the field so beautiful, what do you think that he'll do for you? It's just grass. One day it's alive, and the next day someone throws it into a fire. But God cares enough to make it beautiful. Surely he will do much more for you." That's an awesome passage. And if you really just pay attention to what's being said there, he's saying, look at the birds. Birds don't plant, they don't harvest, and they don't save food in barns. But what does it say? It says that God takes care of them. He feeds them, right? A bird is not able to build up a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They just fly around and eat food. But it's saying that God takes care of them. So how much more, and that's just an animal, how much more would God take care of you, a human being that's created in his image and his likeness? People who worry about clothing, what they're gonna wear. This says, hey, look at the grass of the field. Look at, flowers. Flowers don't worry about what they're gonna wear, because their clothing comes from God. It's natural. It's something that they have. And it's saying that if God takes care of the flowers by making sure that they have clothes to wear, how much more would God make sure that you have clothes to wear? Perfect example of how we can learn something just from looking at an inanimate object. Job chapter 12, verses 7 through 10 says, "But ask the animals, and they will teach you. Or ask the birds of the air, and they will tell you. Or speak to the earth, and it will teach you. Or let the fish of the sea tell you their wisdom. Everyone knows that the Lord made these things. Every animal that lives and everyone who breathes, they are all under God's power." This is another great example, basically just saying that, again, these things were all created by God, and they were created for a purpose. And these things that were created by God, even though they can't talk to you, they can't have a conversation, but they can tell you something. They can teach you something about who God is and about how powerful God is. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verses 17 and 18. It says the elders who lead the church in a good way should receive double honor. In particular, those who do the work of counseling and teaching. And then right here, it relates again human beings to animals, in that it says, as the scriptures say, when a work animal is being used to separate grain, don't keep it from eating the grain. And the scriptures also say a worker should be given his pay. So what is it saying? When an animal is treading out grain, when it's working the fields and it's helping the farmer, that animal should be able to eat from the grain as it walks. You know, why put that animal through such hard work and not even allow it to get a snack, not even allow it to feed itself, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. And it's just saying, you know, in the same way, just like how animals get to eat the grain when they're putting in the work, it's the same with you as a human being. If you're putting in the work, then you should get paid. You should be taken care of. You should be compensated from the work that you're putting out there. So that's a great principle that applies to many different areas of life. Something we can learn from inanimate objects. Here's another one from Isaiah chapter 40, verses 29 through 31. It says, he helps tired people be strong. And this is referring to God. He helps tired people be strong. He gives power to those without it. Young men get tired and need to rest. Even young boys stumble and fall. But those who trust in the Lord will become strong again. They will be like eagles that grow new feathers. They will run and not get weak. They will walk and not get tired. That's an excellent passage that speaks of how even something like an eagle, this is something that we can look to as an example of what the Lord will do for us if we allow him. It says he gives power to those without it. We might get tired, we might need rest, but just like an eagle, if we trust in the Lord, we'll become strong. Just like an eagle is able to grow new feathers, right? We'll have renewed strength in times that we need it. So this is awesome. Glad you could join me today. We'll be back next time for the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets.
Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come